successful athletes. What makes this school great is we've got all kinds of people here at Little Hawk.
Hey, guys.
One thing we all have in common is that we are part of a special school family. Ladies and gentlemen, you live in interesting times. Tomorrow night, obviously, a lot going on in our country, national anthem and things like that. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone has the right to express themselves in a respectful manner. It is critical tomorrow night that everyone make sure that every one of us have the right to express ourselves peacefully and that no one infringes upon the rights of others. Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay that we have different opinions. It's okay that we find ways to express those opinions in a respectful manner. But the thing that makes this country great, certainly the thing that makes our high school great, is that we know we all come from different perspectives, different backgrounds, but we are one school family here. Sometimes families have their differences, but you know what? We stick together with Little Hawks. So we encourage everyone tomorrow evening to make sure that we are respectful of one another as people express themselves in the way that they believe.
So do you want me to do that?
And I know that you will, because we're sitting on Little Hawk. Okay, I don't usually do this, hope I'm not setting a precedent here. But happy 23rd birthday to Dr. Grove today from all of your choir students. They just asked me so nicely to say that. All right, City High School will be hosting a construction week presentation for students interested in careers in construction industry. On Tuesday next week, October 3rd, during advisory in the Lidl Theater, and we have a sign-up sheet on the counter in the main office. If you are interested in coming to hear about careers in construction and meet some local experts in the field, come sign up in advisory. Next week is Construction Week, and that is how we are recognizing it here at City High. Seniors, this is a big one. Tune in and listen up. The annual University of Iowa Senior Visit Day for City High, especially for our high school, will be November 9th from 9 until 1:45. Students must meet University of Iowa admissions requirements in order to be eligible for the visit. See a counselor at the guidance office for information and a permission slip. The first 58 seniors who complete the registration process will be approved for this special trip to the campus of the University of Iowa. If you have questions, see this poll in the guidance department. College visits tomorrow. We have the University of Iowa and Simpson College here at City High. Sign up in guidance. Students traveling to Spain, remember all your registration materials and first payment must be in by Friday, October 6th. That deadline has been extended. Friday, October 6th, all materials and payment made to Senior Garrett up on the 3rd floor. If you have questions, ask your Spanish teacher. In case you missed our halftime announcement last Friday, City High School juniors and seniors voted Kote Urabi this year's homecoming queen and Amadou Sanogo homecoming kid. We had an outstanding homecoming court this year. Again, congratulations to all of you. Your photos from the assembly are being held for you to pick up in the main office. Stop by and grab them. Not doing anything after school, consider coming on out to the University of Iowa Ashton cross country course to see your mighty Little Hawk cross country team's race today, anytime from 4:30 until 6:10 p.m. Good Little Hawks, best buddies. Don't forget, on Saturday, September 30th, that's this Saturday, 1 o'clock, you are meeting at Wilson's Apple Orchard for a tractor ride through the fields, a scavenger hunt, all fun activities with your friends. If you have questions or need a ride, just see chapter president, the great Molly Brennan. Okay, Student Advisory Board, if you were part of this special group last year and you want to be involved again, you need to meet in the balcony lobby of Hopestead during advisory on Friday. Don't forget, next week on Monday, we start the buzz-in entrance system during the school day. In the morning, you can enter any entrance that you want, but once school has started, all the entrances are locked to the building. You will need to buzz in using the camera system by door number 39, just outside the common. You will need to show your student ID when you're coming and going. And if you've lost your ID, replacement IDs are a buck. I hope this works. We need to make it work. All schools in the district are going in this direction, and it is our turn to get this started here at City High. It does make us more safe, more secure in this building. Make sure not just anybody can wander around this place. So let's make sure we all stick together and do this right. Don't forget, Run for the Schools. If interested in helping out, come sign up in the main office. Silver cord opportunity for you. Grab a shirt and slip to help design the Little Hawks Booster Club Red Zone t-shirt. If you'd like to participate in that contest, grab a sheet in the main office. And don't forget, my last reminder for a while, you can nominate one of your teachers or coaches for a Staff Excellence Award. All you have to do is send me an email stating the reasons why. I encourage you to do so and give your teacher a special honor that they so richly deserve. That's it, Little Hawks. Have a great rest of your day. Here, the school that leads.
Ladies and gentlemen, first before we start anything, you have an opportunity up until the end of the day tomorrow to sign up for the Camp Wapsie Leadership Retreat. Okay? If that's something that you're interested in, I promise it's going to be a good time. You'll meet new people. You will get to know some upperclassmen that are kind of movers and shakers. and I'll be there.
Will you really?
Yeah, yes, I'm a chaperone. Okay, so I'm getting out of school to go lead.
Was that supposed to be a joke?
My sense of humor is lost on these children. Nicholas.
That announcement sounded so serious, like he's saying, I know this is like a hard time for our country or whatever. Like, what was the whole announcement about? Did I miss it?
That's a good question. I think what in the news about what the president has said about peaceful protesters during football games.
Yeah, they were taking.
Right, taking a knee and during the national anthem. However you personally feel about it is completely your own opinion. However, the Constitution of the United States of America garners us all the right to free speech, and that I think the district probably made a comment, and therefore Mr. Bacon wanted to amplify that comment, saying, however you choose to exercise your free speech, as long as it's peaceful, that with the football game on Friday, that will be respected, and your protest, should you choose to do that, you've got a free and respectful place to do that there. Good question. All right, so before we start, and I know that we've got to get back to clip number 6 before we turn work in today, but I wanted to make sure that for those of you who maybe have been thinking about English 9, another reminder that that's going to be due, your letter and declaration form is going to be due a week from tomorrow. I made some additional copies, they're up there in the basket, so you can feel free to help yourself something that you're interested in. Remember, I have to sign off on your declaration, so probably talking to me earlier rather than later after you spend the time to write the whole letter is probably a good idea. Okay. Secondly, we've got one more video clip to watch and tough questions to analyze, and I really am sorry. Those tough questions are not on your pink sheet, okay? But you will need your pink sheet today, so you might as well pull that out, okay? All right.
What do you think this job was? To save people's lives.
This is an ad, so hold on just a second.
Must watch.
Just a second, just a second. Okay.
4 stars.
Now, I want to bring to your attention that there is some profanity here, and
It's on.
guys. All right, so the audio quality is not great on this clip, but so we've got to be kind of quiet. But thinking about tough questions, and then we'll kind of unpack this all together. I do apologize for the profanity, but it's a really great example once you get past the swerves. Okay. Hold on. I forgot to tell you about this movie. This is from a movie called The Breakfast Club. Okay, some of us talked about it. It's an 80s movie. It's a fantastic movie, but basically the premise here is that instead of like a suspension or an in school, this school that all these kids go to has sort of a Saturday school, which is kind of like school jail. They've got to appear on Saturday mornings, breakfast, and serve out an extended detention this way for whatever they did wrong during the week. Okay, so what you see here is that with these 5 characters, there's a real cross section of the student body. Okay, and you've got a lot of the stereotypical roles represented here. This is Claire. She and Andy are the popular crowd. Okay, Andy's a jock. Claire, has a lot of money. Her family is very wealthy. Then you've got a kid named John. He has a flannel shirt on. His hair's kind of long and shaggy. He's the stereotypical bad boy. You then have 2 of, quote unquote, the less desirable stereotypes. Michael, who's wearing a green sweater. He's kind of the traditional geeky nerd. And then you have the girl who is sort of the misunderstood kind of goth representation. Now, where this is set in the movie, the scene where this comes, they've spent some time together and they realize that as these barriers have kind of broken down, that they actually like one another. And this brings about asking the tough questions, which to even ask it would kind of suggest that there's a tough answer. Maybe the honest answer here is not necessarily one you'd want to hear.
So it's tough questions for what the girl is.
Tough questions were on clip 6.
I know it's kind of a weird time, but I was just wondering, what is going to happen to us on Monday? We're all together again. And I can see you guys, my friends. Not wrong, am I? No. On Monday, what happened?
Are we still friends now? We're friends now, that is?
Yeah.
You want the truth?
Yeah, the truth.
I don't think so. With all of us, or just children? With all of you.
It's a real nice attitude, Claire.
Oh, be honest, Andy. If Brian came walking up to you in the hall on Monday, what would you do? I mean, picture that you're there with all the sports. And what you do. You'd say hi to him and we left. You cut them all up so your friends wouldn't think that you really liked them.
No way.
Hey, what if I came up to you? The same exact thing.
You are a bitch!
Why? Because I'm telling the truth? That makes me a bitch?
No, because you know how shitty that is to do to someone. And you don't got the balls to stand up to your friends and tell them that you're going to like who you want to like.
Okay, what about you, you hypocrite? Why don't you take Allison to one of your heavy metal vomit parties? Or take Brian out to the parking lot at lunch to get high? Or what about Andy for that matter? What about me? What would your friends say if we were walking down the hall together? They'd laugh their asses off, and you'd probably tell them that you were doing it with me so they'd forgive you for being seen with me.
Don't you ever talk about my friends. You don't know any of my friends. You don't look at any of my friends. And you certainly wouldn't condescend to speak to any of my friends. So you get stripped of the things that you know. Shopping, nail polish, your father's BMW, and your poor, rich, drunk mother in the Caribbean. And as far as being concerned about what's going to happen when you and I walk down the hallways to school, you can forget it, because it's never going to happen. Just bury your head in the sand and wait for your fucking prom.
I hate you.
Yeah? Good. And I assume Alice and I are better people than you guys, huh? That's weird over. Would you do that to me?
I don't have any friends.
Well, if you did,
No. I don't think the kind of friends I have would mind.
I just want to tell each of you that I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't, and I will not. And I think that's real shitty.
Your friends wouldn't mind because they look up to us.
You're so conceited, Claire. You're so busy. You're like full of yourself. Why are you like that?
I'm not saying that to be conceited. I hate it. I hate having to go along with everything my friends say.
Then why do you do it?
You don't understand. You're not friends with the same kind of people that Annie and I are friends with. You just don't understand the pressure that they can put on you.
I don't understand what? You think I don't understand pressure, Claire? Well, fuck you! Fuck you!
So I'm here today. Damn!
I'm here because Mr. Ryan found me going in the locker. Why'd you have a gun in your locker? I tried. They pulled the fucking trunk on. The light's supposed to be on. People on him, What's the gun for, Brian? Forget it. You brought it up, man. I can't have an F. I can't have it. I know my parents can have it. Even if I ace the rest of the semester, I'm still only a B. You haven't even known it for me.
Ryan.
It's an option,
Yourself is not an option.
Well, I didn't do it, did I? No, I don't think so.
It was a handgun.
I was flare gun. Went off in my locker. It's not funny.
Okay.
It ain't over.
It's not over.
It's over for what we needed to be. So, again, I apologize for the profanity, but I think that we can all agree that, like, the issues that come up in this scene, particularly issues for teenagers, are authentically discussed in a way that teenagers discussed them in the 80s, the way teenagers would probably discuss them today, in a dramatic fashion, But the question is this, okay? And you don't have this in front of you, unfortunately, because I was a dopey teacher and left this off of your copy. Yeah, I know, I left tough questions off. Sorry.
Laboratory.
The question here in question, also, you can put your phones in your bag. I should not see them on your desk. I should not see them poking out of your pocket. I should not see them in your lap. This is your morning, and if I continue to see them, I will just call Chip, and you can deal with it. So, the question really is this, and it starts that whole scene. Would you be my friend with other people around? Would you be my friend when there is judgment associated with your association with me? Okay. There are other kind of secondary tough questions. How do you deal with stress? We can infer those. But I think that real question that he asked, what happens on Monday? What happens to us in this relationship that we've built when other people are around to scrutinize it? So what does this question make me wonder about? How does this question show the point of view of each of the characters? And how does it connect to the theme? Thinking about the director or the writer of this movie, what lesson are they trying to teach us by having that character ask that question? Okay? Type that up. Well, do you have a question? Oh, I was talking, Nicole. I'm sorry, I didn't get to you right away. I just needed to finish my thought. Okay, so how does this question show the character's voice or point of view? How does it connect to theme? What's the lesson involved? Okay? When you think you have an answer to that question, we're about to turn this work in. So make sure that you go back up to the top, and for your answers to all 6 of your clip questions, double check that none of them are just summarizing what that clip was about. If you are only summarizing, you're doing it wrong. Remember, because these analytical questions are getting at you thinking about the deeper meanings associated with these signposts as they apply to the different stories that we watch. Question, Monica.
Okay, so what was the guy's name who was asking, like, would you be my friend?
Would you be my friend? That was the character Michael. Okay.
I didn't type the question before I You have to sit down. So you turn this in on Canvas?
Yes, you will turn this in on Canvas, and I'll show you exactly how once I feel like everybody is kind of caught up. It's the same way we've turned in everything else, but I'll just go through and double check that we are on the right track. Yeah. So the tough questions that were just on the board. What does this question make me wonder about? The idea of what will happen on Monday. Would you still be my friend with other people around? How does this question show the character's voice or the point of view? I mean, thinking about, they all went through, Michael asked the other nerdy kids to answer the question. What does that show about their point of view? And lastly, how does it connect to the theme or maybe the larger lesson that these movie makers wanted us as the audience to think about? Even if you haven't seen the whole movie, you can make probably a pretty educated inference. Okay, take another minute to wrap up your idea, and then I'll run through how to turn this in one more time. Also, guys, some of you have noticed already, but as I'm grading that gigantic assignment for your personal narrative story, I'm working through those as fast as possible, spending about an hour grading juniors' papers and an hour grading your papers every night. I'm tired. I'm so tired. So, when you get feedback, you'll find that over here. Your to-do, you also have like overdue assignments, but then if you scroll down, you'll have recent feedback. I'm giving you a lot of feedback. You have feedback from the rubric, you've got feedback on your Google Doc, okay? So as I'm piecing through those, you're gonna see recent feedback when I get your paper. Now, for those of you whose papers I don't have yet, you'll see that I've put a 0 in PowerSchool, meaning that you are going to be failing at midterm, okay? I will not probably get to grade your paper before my midterm grades are due on Monday, okay? That does not mean that you can't turn that in, and as soon as you do turn that in, it will go at the bottom of my pile, okay? Because I will grade them in the order that they came in, all right? But I can guarantee that if I don't have your paper now, it probably won't be updated before my midterm grades are due. Get them in, they'll still pop up there, and for you to fix that a day after my midterm grades are due will be a nice thing to say, even though the paper mom says this, look at PowerSchool. PowerSchool's right. Okay? All right, so you are going to go over here to turn in review signposts with clips. That is to do. Okay. You will also see up here, turn in assignment or submit assignment. Press that button. Once you've pressed that button, you should see a tab under here for website URL. That's how I'm collecting this assignment. Nick, please make another choice. I do not want to see that screen on your computer again. And to get your right website URL, you're going to go to your work, click share. Exactly right. Get shareable link and set it so I can comment or I can edit. Okay. When I copy this, just by clicking that button right there, this can be what you post here in the website URL. Perfect. And I click submit. Once you've done that, remember you'll have that green stripe across the top of the page saying that you've successfully submitted this. Okay? It says it's late. I'm going to adjust the, we were supposed to get it done yesterday. My other 2 classes got it done. I'm not too worried about it. I can adjust the deadline on my end.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Next step, once you have that assignment turned in, you will see on your to-do list, turn in book check 928 for 928. You'll see as my test student, I haven't done my 922 from last. Turn in book check 9.28 for September 28th. This week, in our independent reading discussion, you're going to, again, include the title, the author, the page number, and then let me know also if you finished the book from last week or if you just abandoned it. That's fine too. Life's too short to read bad books. All right? But this week, instead of just tell me about it, I want you to respond to the prompt, what one element from the book would you like to bring into your life? Okay, let me leave student view and show you what I typed up. So here is my response, and you can see down at the bottom, this is only meeting expectations. Second, but I read on my own another 110 pages of The Hate You Give. This week's prompt is hard for me to answer because this book puts the protagonist Star in a really tough public position. But the one element from the book I would like to bring into my life is how honorable her family seems to be. She's got some pretty positive role models in her life for growing up in such a tough neighborhood. I really admire her mom and dad for trying to protect her from the stress and grief of seeing her childhood friend, well, friends, plural, really, murdered in front of her. But they also encourage her strength. They don't shy away from helping her do what's right, even though that may include speaking up to authority. Her dad has made his fair share of mistakes, but the love and support he shows his kids is never in question. I hope to be that kind of parent, one who challenges my kid to think for herself while also taking the best care of her that I can. Okay? Now, when you look at the rubric, remember, and you can go up to the gear and show rubric here. But my response is only meeting expectations because I respond to that prompt in detail. What I'm missing is any kind of engagement of literary terms, okay? Like theme, like foreshadowing, like symbolism, like figurative language, or signposts. Signpost into your discussion here, that's exceeding my expectations. That's A, you earned it, okay? Remember, please, that just like last week, once you post your work, respond to 2 other people. And please try to respond to people without responses first. You may have to wait a second since we all kind of type in all together, okay? You'll also notice here that I linked this week, and you have the ability to hyperlink too. When you click on this, this just opens up the page in Goodreads. So if somebody were reading your discussion post and was really interested in the book, to the page on Goodreads and add that to your want to read list. Just an idea. That's not mandatory. I just thought that like Hosanna gave me a hyperlink last week. That was cool. You gave me that idea. You hyperlinked in your discussion last week.
I did.
All right. So take a couple minutes to do that. Today.
No.
5 minutes.
I even know I was that sport.
Yeah, good question. What do I mean by element? I use that vague term element because it could apply to anything. It could be something like a possession that one of the characters have. It could be like a friendship one of the characters have. It could be a personality trait. It could be like I respond to the way her parents are, traits of her parents. It can be absolutely anything. Just something you wish you had going on in your life. Could take even the most motley of dystopias. Your book is absolutely, you wouldn't want to live there. But that doesn't mean that people don't behave in a way that you might admire or have things or show things that you think are kind of cool or maybe commendable. Okay? Good questions. The grading requirements are under the gear. Show rubric. Sure thing. Hold on 1 second.
So,
Okay.
so you can click through the rest of those links except for that first link because it's for that. Okay, they took it down from that side. So I can show you that one during the advisory. Okay, on the computer, sure.
Yeah.
And then you can turn it in that. I can't tell definitively, my comments will show you, but probably if you got a 0, it means that you didn't adjust the permission for me to actually be able to see it.
Okay, well, I read through it and I look like you can edit it.
Yes, I'm sure that'll be this one.
Okay.
That should be good.
Oh, yeah. I'm just gonna read.
meeting, and I could ask all the questions. We could, look at the and then like, maybe a newspaper, a news article, or story that you saw online. I'm just gonna, talking about reading. That is so not true.
Well, besides maybe his personality.
Yeah. There's a lot there.
He's kind of an antagonist pretty much every other time.
For sure. How does he live with that sense?
For sure, very good. You can't like,
Something I find is like, it sounds even though, like, you know, when he is, like, he allows himself to be sometimes even though he's like, attacked. That's it. It's, you know, like, he has the, he has a good sense of people breaking. Ideas. Oh, cheers, yeah. I know exactly what's wrong.
So guys, we are, probably not gonna be able to move on with what's next on my agenda today, just because we were at least 10 minutes behind with the signpost review, which is not your fault. It's not my fault either. It's kind of, you know. But tomorrow, I think I will be dipping into SSR for us, okay? Just to get us back on track with my other two classes. So what you absolutely need to bring with you tomorrow is your copy of Angels in the Snow. If you don't have that, you are going to be lost in the cold.
When did we get that? Oh, 2 minutes.
Here has to be back.
What if you look at the elements? What is Stephen King writing? I think that's good. So like, you kind of adapt it instead of writing about what's the opportunity. And then we kind of can't help but to just get into that, like, sign of security.
So ladies and gentlemen, this deadline on this particular discussion is set for 11:59. Remember what I'm looking at for you to get to that full credit range is a really great response that shows some knowledge of language arts stuff. Okay? You also want to make sure that you have posted responses to 2 other people. Okay? If that gets done before 11:59, then that, you're sailing right into your day. Okay? Here.
Are you insecure or what you act like?